Good morning students and welcome for your maths lecture. Now students, as you all know that in the previous lecture I have completed with the chapter that was statistics, right? And we have also completed with a portion for the exam. Clear? Now students, from today we'll start with the revision of each chapter. Okay, I'll do once again the revision of each chapter, and again I'll revise the chapter once again. So I want that everybody should pay attention, and if anybody has not understood the chapter or any concept or any part of the chapter, then you all can pay attention now also, and still if you all don't understand, then you can message me again. Is that clear students? And today with the video I'll also send you all the notes of this chapter. So if anybody has kept their books incomplete, if you all have not completed because of some reason, so you all can complete it today. Okay, so we'll begin now. So now first we'll study the revision of Pythagorean theorem. That is, first we'll do the revision on this chapter, that is Pythagoras theorem. So I have already explained you all what is Pythagorean theorem. Okay, now you all can see the right angled triangle. Okay, in that right angled triangle you can see a formula, that is a square plus b square is equal to c square. Okay, a square plus b square is equal to c square. Now students, a square, now where is a? Okay, now wherever the a is visible to you all, which side it is what? The height of the triangle. Wherever it is the b, it is what? The base of the triangle. And c here, wherever it is c, it is what? The hypotenuse of the triangle. So the formula is a square plus b square is equal to c square. So this is the basic Pythagorean theorem. Okay, now we are students chapter number 13, that is Pythagoras theorem, and we are doing the revision on this chapter. So the main important part of this chapter is all about the right angled triangle. This theorem which is being formed, this theorem is totally being formed on on what basis? It is being formed on right angled triangle. Okay, we know that a triangle with one right angle is called a right angled triangle. Now you all are aware, triangle में अगर one angle है, then that is known as right angled triangle, and the side opposite to the right angle is called the hypotenuse, and the side which is exactly opposite to that angle, the side which is exactly opposite to that angle, that side is known as what? Right angled, that side is known as hypotenuse. Okay, so write the name of the hypotenuse of each of the right angle triangles shown below. Now this already we have solved it, but once again I will just revise it. Okay, so you have to write the side of the hypotenuse for these three triangles. Okay, so first one is ABC. ABC is a what? Right angled triangle, because the angle is being shown, so it's a what? Right angled triangle. So the hypotenuse for triangle ABC, the hypotenuse for triangle ABC, अभी यहाँ पे ये triangle में angle कौन सा है? That is angle B. Okay, you can see that angle B is having exactly 90 degree. So angle B का opposite side कौन सा है? That is side AC. So what is the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse of triangle ABC is what? Side AC. Clear? Second figure. In second figure, the triangle is LMN. Now in that triangle, which is the angle? It is angle L. Angle L is what? A right angle triangle, right? So side exactly opposite to it. So opposite to it means the facing towards each other. Okay, so that is side MN. MN is exactly opposite to angle L. Okay, so the hypotenuse of triangle LMN is side MN. Okay, then the third triangle is XYZ. That is triangle XYZ, and in that you have to see the side hypotenuse. Okay, so what is the angle? Angle is what? Angle Y. Angle Y is what? Right angle triangle, that is 90 degree. Okay, so what you have to find out? Hypotenuse. So for finding out the hypotenuse, you have to see the side which is exactly opposite to angle Y. So that is which side? That is side XZ. Side XZ is exactly opposite to angle Y. So the hypotenuse of triangle XYZ is what side? Side XZ. Is that clear how you are supposed to find out hypotenuse? Okay. Now let us study in detail more about what Pythagoras has said. People of many countries had long known of certain principle related to the right-angled triangle. People were aware about certain principles which were related to of right-angled triangle. It is also given in the book called Shulva Sutra. It is also the principles about the right-angled triangle is also being given in the book called Shulva Sutra of ancient India. Ancient means olden times, okay, of ancient India. As Pythagoras was the first to prove the theorem, Pythagoras was the first person to prove the theorem. It is named after him. He had proved the theorem. He was the first person to prove the theorem. That's the reason that theorem was named by himself. That was Pythagoras theorem. This theorem of Pythagoras states that, now what does this theorem exactly state? Okay, what is this theorem all about? That is, in a right angled triangle, as I said, in a right angled triangle, that theorem is being proved in which angle? In a right angled triangle. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. The square of the hypotenuse, matlab just side, whichever side is the hypotenuse, so the value of that hypotenuse side, the value of that side of that hypotenuse, so that value का जो square है, the square of that side, hypotenuse side, is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, is equal to the sum of the other squares of the other two sides. Means the remaining two sides are what? Height and base. So whatever will be the squares of height and base, you have to add those. So after doing the addition of both the two sides, the answer of that and the answer of hypotenuse square, whenever the two answers are equal, then it is being said as that it is a Pythagoras theorem. Clear everybody? So in this way it is being proved that both the things should be equal, then it is a Pythagoras theorem, otherwise it's not an Pythagoras theorem. Clear everybody? Okay. So now let's learn that with reference to the figure alongside, the theorem of Pythagoras can be written as follows. Now how that theorem is being written? In triangle ABC, you can see the triangle ABC which is visible to you all. Okay, in triangle ABC, if angle B is a right angle, now angle B is a right angle. Okay, if angle B is a right angle, then the formula is that length of AC, that is what? Hypotenuse, is equal to length of AB. AB is what? Height plus length of BC. What we are supposed to, other two sides मतलब height और base का addition और hypotenuse का square, ये दोनों equal होना चाहिए, बराबर. So they have given the names of the triangle. So generally in a right angle triangle, one of the sides forming the right angle is taken as the base and the other as the height. They have told what is the height and what is the base. Okay, then the theorem can be stated as hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. Hypotenuse square is equal to base square का जो आंसर आएगा वो प्लस हाइट स्क्वायर का जो आंसर आएगा वो दोनों मिला के जो आंसर आएगा वो आंसर और हाइपोटेन्यूज स्क्वायर का आंसर दोनों अगर सेम हो गए, देन इट इज बीइंग proved as Pythagoras theorem. Clear? So the basic formula for this is that hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. So whenever you are solving the sums, which formula you are supposed to use? That is hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. This is what Pythagoras theorem formula. Okay, so whenever you are solving the sums, you are supposed to use this formula only. Is that clear? So with this, the next is that practice set 48. It is practice set 48. So question number 1 is, in the figures below find the value of x. Now they have given the measurements of the triangles and we are supposed to find out the value of x. Okay, in the question number 1 you can see the triangle LMN. In that right angle triangle is angle M. Then the height and base is given. Height is MN, that is 24. Base is what? LM, that is 7. And LN क्या है? Exactly opposite to angle M, that is hypotenuse, and it is x. So we are supposed to find out the value of x. Okay. So I have already explained you all how you are supposed to solve the sum. Okay. Then second one is that in triangle PQR, the angle Q is what? Right angle triangle. Exactly opposite angle Q is PR, so that is hypotenuse. They have given the value of hypotenuse, that is 41, and they have given the base of the triangle, that is 9, and we are supposed to find out the height of the triangle, that is the value of x. Okay, third one is in triangle EDF. Angle D is the right angle triangle. Side opposite to it is hypotenuse, that is EF is a hypotenuse, and the value is 70. Okay, the base is given 8, that is DF, and we are supposed to find out the value of height, that is value of ED, and therefore it is written as x. Clear? Question number 2, that is in the right angle triangle, angle PQR, angle P is equal to 90 degree, angle P is 90 degree. If length of PQ is equal to 24 centimeter and length of PR is equal to 10 centimeter, find the length of segment QR. Okay, so you ultimately you have to draw this triangle PQR. You have to give angle P as 90 degree, then you have to find out the hypotenuse, and you have to write down its length, and then you have to find out the value of x. That value of x would be the length of segment QR. Clear? In similar way, students, you are supposed to solve third and fourth one also. I have already explained this practice set before, which each and every sum. In today's lecture, I am just explaining you all the basic part of this chapter. Okay, I won't solve these sums again because already I have explained you all. If anybody has missed this lecture, like this sum practice set 48, you all can go on the YouTube channel, and the video is already being there. You all can refer that video again for the sums. And after this lecture, students, even I am going to send you all the notes. So in that notes also the sums are being solved, so that it would be easier for you all to understand. Okay, next part is that if in a triplet of natural numbers, the square of the biggest number is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two numbers, then the three numbers form a Pythagorean triplet. Now what they have told, if in a triplet of natural numbers, अगर natural numbers का triplet जो है, triplet means three numbers, the square of the biggest number is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two numbers. The square of the big, वो three numbers में जो सबसे बड़ा number है उसका square, और जो बाकी के दो छोटे नंबर्स है उनका स्क्वायर्स अगर सेम हुआ, आंसर सेम हुआ, देन इट इज टू बी सेड एज द पाइथागोरियन ट्रिपलेट. अगर नहीं हुआ देन इट्स नॉट अ पाइथागोरियन ट्रिपलेट. ओके, if the lengths of the sides of a triangle form such a triplet, then the triangle is right angle triangle. Okay, so you all can see the solution also. One example is being visible for you all, that is, do the following numbers form a Pythagorean triplet, that is 7, 24 and 25. सबसे बड़ा कौन सा है? 25. Okay, so first we'll write the squares of each number, that is 7 square is 49, 24 square is 576 and 25 squares is 625. Okay, so सबसे बड़ा नंबर कौन सा है? 625. तो हमें देखना है कि बाकी दो नंबर का एडिशन करके 625 आना चाहिए. So that is 49 plus 576 is equal to 625. So both the sides it is 625. Therefore 7 square plus 24 square is equal to 25 square. So these three numbers are what? Pythagorean triplet. So 7, 24 and 25 is a Pythagorean triplet. Clear? So on that basis, students, practice set 49 is being there. It is that first question is find the Pythagorean triplets from among the following sets of numbers. So three sets of numbers are being given. From that you have to find out the Pythagorean triplet. 3, 4 and 5. First one 3, 4 and 5. सबसे बड़ा कौन सा है? 5. So you have to take the square of 5 and you have to see whether square of 3 and 4 are equal with the 5 square. Is that clear? Similarly, you have to solve the sums. So again, this also concept I have explained. If anybody has missed this practice set, you all can refer the other video which is being there on the YouTube channel. Is that clear, students? Okay, and this is all about the revision part of the chapter. Okay, so in the next lecture we'll do the revision of the next chapter. So I want that everybody should understand. If you all are having any doubts, you all can message me personally. I'll clear out your doubts. Okay, and after this, students, I'm sending you all the notes. So if anybody has kept their books incomplete, they can complete their this chapter, that is Pythagoras theorem, they can complete in their maths notebook. Is that clear? And if you all have already completed the notes, then you all can solve it and just solve it for the sake of practice sums. Clear? So with this, students, I'll end our today's lecture. Thank you.